Hello, everybody. Welcome back after the first part of the second day, which was full of interesting material and a nice discussion at the end. Now we're the second part of the day. The topic of the second part is understanding the immune response. After we went through the components of the immune system. So now we have the first paper will be presented by Dr. Aishwarya, who is specialized in SIDDHA. And as you can see on the screen already, it's about KADUKKAI, the elixir of rejuvenation, a gift of the SIDDHA medicine. So, Doctor, it's all yours. Please go on.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all for giving me this great opportunity to present my presentation. Thank you, sir. Thank you all. Myself, Dr. A. Aishwarya. I'm a research associate in SIDDHA Clinical Research Unit, Safdarjung Hospital, New Delhi. It's under the Central Council for Research in SIDDHA. And today I'm going to talk about KADUKKAI, which is commonly called as a Haridagi in Ayurveda, and Terminalia cebula is its scientific name. And it is called elixir of rejuvenation. It's a gift of SIDDHA medicine. I will tell why I choose this only herbal, which is called elixir of rejuvenation, on the next slide. Yeah, okay. Natural products with medicinal values are gradually gaining importance in nowadays. Everybody known that nowadays every people are searching about a natural medicines and natural therapies. WHO also advised to the general public to focus on enhancing their immunity to prevent. So next slide.
Yes, shorthand.
Okay. Yegamulige Prayogam, it's a kind of therapeutic application which is called a single herb therapeutic agent. In SIDDHA system of medicine, there is a concept called Yegamulige Prayogam, which means Ega means it's a single, and Mulike means herb, and Prayoga means application. It's a kind of therapeutic application which deals with a single herb and their clinical applications. Because single herb therapy is safe, convenient, and economical also, and it's a concept of single herb is widely recognized nowadays also, because it's safe and best economical. So everyone are searching this kind of single herb therapy, and which is I already said KADUKKAI, Terminalia cebula. It possesses a great therapeutic value, and it's widely distributed in India. Almost every people know the Haridagi. Everyone uses day-to-day life in this kind of herbal. And KADUKKAI plays an important role in Kaya Karpam therapy, which is called already rejuvenation therapy. In our aspect, it is called Kaya Karpam. So it because it balanced 3 bodily humors. Already everyone said that Vadam, Pittam, Kabam. These 3 things are mainly, previous slide, sir. Okay. Because everyone said last doctors or SIDDHA doctors or homeopathy, everyone said that about Vadam, Pittam, Kabam, these 3 humors, this bodily 3 humors. These are the basic thing which are mainly responsible for disease or healthy, whatever. These 3 things are basic, because KADUKKAI is very helpful in balancing these three things. And also it support healthy bowel movements and gut health. Everyone talks about that gut health is very important. So I'm also talking that, because now it is recognized in modern science that gut is the second brain. You can see our mood is depends upon your gut bacteria. If your gut is not okay, means you will feel depression, you will go whatever, but your mood is not stable. Whenever your gut is healthy, then your mood will be very good, also your health will be very good. So modern science also talk about that gut is a second brain, like that. So I'm going to talk about that Kadukkai, how it helps our gut health. Next slide, sir. Okay. Today our topic is immunity, and how SIDDHA talks about immunity. So I'm going to talk about that. Basic concept and diseases in SIDDHA system. Okay. SIDDHA system is generally called Udal Vanmai. Udal Vanmai means it is immunity in our SIDDHAs. It's 1,000 years back ago, they describes immunity. It's an interesting thing. So nowadays also they called it immunity, but in 1,000 years back it is called Udal Vanmai. So they categorize this Udal Vanmai into 3 types. It depends upon their physical and mental. Next slide, sir. So first thing, I told about 3 immunity. No? It's first thing, Iyarkkai Vanmai, which is called natural immunity. It's there are 3 type of physics formed in Sattva Guna, Rajoguna, and Tamoguna. These 3 things are basically inborn thing. So inborn resistant to the diseases which exist since birth. So it is said to increase with the growth of tissues and does not depend upon any other cause, both mental or physical strength. It's naturally by birth. Everyone has this natural strength, which is merely correlated our innate immunity nowadays science. And Seyarkkai Vanmai is strength according to age and seasonal variation. This type of immunity is influenced by seasonal traits and the age of the person. It is changed during the seasons and during our age. And third one is Kala Vanmai. It's a strength acquired by artificial things like our appropriate diet, physical exercise, restoration, therapies, with is keeping in a seasonal needs. Every season we have to do such things. So it all are explained in SIDDHA a very well manner. Yeah, in 2000 years back. And SIDDHA system of medicine, there is a day, it is divided into, one day is divided into 6 parts. One is Kalai, Malai evening, Yamam midnight, and Vaigare dawn, and Kalai morning. Nanpagal means noon, and Erpad means afternoon. There is total 6 Perumpodigal, which is called seasons, 6 seasons in the modern science. Spring, autumn, like late autumn, winter, like rainy season. And the body of every person is unique according to the SIDDHA system of medicine. Because I already told you there is a Sattvic, Tamo, 3 types of human inborn things here. And already said that these 3 humors, Vadam, Pittam, Kabam, these 3 are responsible for occurrence of the disease. Every human being, these 3 things are occurrence of the disease reason. So when these 3 humors like Vadam, Pittam, and Kabam, these 3 in a normal ratio, which Vadam is 1 and Pittam is half and Kabam is quarter, in respectively, it is called Tannilai, which means normal stage. And onset of the disease, a single humor get vitiated on the normal stage, which is other than 2, one is got aggravated. This is called Tannilai Valarchi. And next one is called when 2 humor get vitiated. So in this stage, any one of the humor is aggravated, more aggravated state. This is called Veterinary Valarchi. So the next slide. This is I already told about this. There are 6 seasons in our aspect. So in Vadam, it is Tannilai, which means it's normal state in Muduvenil Kala. Muduvenil means June to August. So Pittam is in Tannilai, which is a normal state in Karkalam. So August to October. And Kabam it is Tannilai in its normal state in Munpani Kalam, which is December to Feb 14. And Tannilai Valachi. So any one of the humor is got aggravated. Vadam is aggravated in Kar Kalam, and Pittam is Kudir Kalam, Kabam Pinpadi Kalam, and Vetrinale Valachi of Vadam in Kudir Kalam. I will explain about what does it called in modern like August to October. It is called rainy season. Everyone know. And October to December it's autumn, and December to Feb early winter, and Feb to April later winter, April to June spring, and June to August summer. Why I'm telling about these seasons and Vada Pitta Kabam means Kadukkai is the only herb which is mentioned in Siddha. We can take this throughout the year. It's a simple herb. We can take throughout the year to maintain these three things. Because these three humus is main is responsible for the disease. So once we eat Kadukkai, it's a Terminalia cebula in certain form throughout these 6 seasons, we will free from diseases, any kind of diseases. So that's why I'm talking about these Tannilai Valachi, these things. Next slide. Okay. Andathil ullade pindam, pindathil ullade andam. This is a great quote said by our sage Sattamuni, which is said that human body is the direct replica of the nature. So whatever the things happen on the outside, it will affect our body. So it is called Andathil ullade. Andam means it's the universe, pindam means our body. So it's a direct correlate. There is a direct replica of the nature. So we have to take food or medicines, whatever. It will affect our body due to our nature, our seasons. Seasons will great impact in our body. So next slide. Okay. Daily variation in the environment have a constrained life on Earth. We all know about circadian rhythm. So whatever the environment changes, it will affect our body. So it mainly affects human physiology and cognitive function also. And not only seasonal variation have a great impact in gene expression. It's there are a lot of studies conducted gene variations in during respective seasonal variations. For example, conception is largely happens on winter or spring, and death in winter or winter in peak. So there are, I already told gene markers and seasonal influences. See, anti-inflammatory circadian AR, NTL, and mRNA, it is peaking in summer months. So like Jan, August, and with lower expression in the winter. Winter, it is a lower thing. And receptors for the prostaglandins like PTGDR and PTGR, like this, and leukotrienes, these things are highly expressed in winter season. And receptors for adiposine and estradiol, anti-DADH, these are highly expressed in the summer. And the number of all seasonal cell types like leukocytes are peaked during rainy season. And the total monocyte number in the blood increased during winter. And the circulating level of acute phase complement activators, CIP, like these things increased during winter month. So these things are recently doing a science research, and they told about how gene markers influence in seasonal influence. These all things are already said by sage siddhas few thousand years ago. So that's why I want to prove that. So next slide. Why I'm taking that Kadukkai? Kadukkai, every herb was mentioned in our Siddha. There are 2-3 names they are giving with a proper reason. These names are given with a proper reason. And Kadukkai's other name is Pranata Resiki. Why they give Pranada name? Because Prana means it's a life energy. Prana means oxygen. So when we take this Kadukkai, when we take this eaten Kai, as it is Kai Karpam, it prevents death of energy to our body. And other name In our system, it is called Puragam, Resagam, Kumbhagam. These three things are, you all know about pranayama. When we do pranayama, inhalation is called Puragam, and exhalation is called Resagam, and when we hold our breath, it is called Kumbhagam. So like Resagam is called exhalation, so which means disposal of waste product. So the other name of KADUKKAI is also called Resagi, which means it will not only from fecus, it also remove our waste products throughout our respiration also. And Ayurvedic father like Lord Dhanvantari also have this KADUKKAI with him always, they are said, because it cure all the diseases. And it also said to neutralize three humors, already I said, and KADUKKAI is called Haritaki in Sanskrit because it means it cure all the diseases. And KADUKKAI alone, this terminology Ebola alone can balance these three humors because it has 5 flavors. It's a specialty of this herb. We are other than herbs have one taste, or some have sour only, some have astringent, some have sweet only. But this herb is contains 5 flavors itself. I will tell about that. These all things are taken from the text Boger Karpam 300. The author is Saint Boger. Next slide. Okay. Why KADUKKAI is better than everything? I'm repeatedly saying why this one herb will help to cure all the disease means. Our another sage yogi, another sage Agasthyar said in his book another Agathiyar Gunavagadam, Kadukkaim Thayum Kardil Untendralum, Kadukkaim Thayum Adhigam Ni, Kadukkai Noyutri Udal Theatrum Utravannayo which means mother feed with 6 tasters to nourish his child. But KADUKKAI wards off all physical ailments and soothes the body. Because once the body's disease was eliminated, then only the eaten food will be used by the body to drive this disease out of the. Otherwise, if whatever the food we can eat, if we have a diseased body, it won't help us, right? So it was said by the sage Agathya, it is greater than the mother. Next slide. This is a pictorial representation. So when we take this KADUKKAI as a karpam, like rejuvenation medicine, we have to take a respective season with a particular adjuvant, which means the Pinpali column, it is taken with tippali, which means a long pepper, and Ilavenil column, it has to taken with honey, and Mudivenil column, it has to taken with vellam. 1 sec, sir.
No problem.
Okay, and car column it has to taken with indupu, and kudi column it has to taken with kalkand, which means crystal sugar, and muduvenil column it has to taken with chukku, it's a dried ginger. If you taken like this 6 seasons, we don't get any diseases. It is said by Agathya Gunavagadam in a Bogar Karpamal. Next slide. Okay. Coming to the scientific validation, that terminalate Ebola itself, it's phytoconstant we are going to see. So it is rich in tannins, which means 32 to 34%. It is rich in tannins, and phenolic compounds like chebulic acid, ellagic, anthraquinone, flavonol, glycoside, and gallic acid. These all are main phytoconsonant in terminalate Ebola. Why tannins are helpful in immunity? So because in many physiological activities such as stimulation of phagocytic cell and host mediated tumor activity, and a wide range of anti-infective action has been assigned to tannin. So it will it prove that our sage they said how it act as a disease, how it gives a disease-free life through this. It contains a rich tannin, And flavonoid also, it's a super antioxidant and a free radical scavengers, which prevent oxidative cell damage, have a strong anti-cancer activity, and also protects against all stage of carcinogens. Flavonoids in the body also, it reduce the risk of heart diseases. And coming to pharmacological activity, everyone know that antioxidant, now we are talking about, everyone talking about antioxidant during these pandemic times. So it has a large amount of antioxidant activity, a free radical scavenging activity, and hepatoprotective activity, cardioprotective activity, cytoprotective, antiviral, immunomodulatory. Other than this, it has a antimicrobial, hypolipidemic have, but during our topic is related to immunity, so I just took this kind only. So antioxidant as a protective agent, why we are talking about antioxidant? In recent years only, there are antioxidants have gained much importance as a prophylactic and therapeutic agent in curing human ailments. Antioxidants may function as immunomodulators, and it's a mainstream therapy in such certain diseases. And nature also have endowed adequate protective mechanism against the harmful effect of free radicals like glutathione products and glutathione reductase, disulfide bonding and buffering systems in every cell. Other non-enzymatic antioxidants also called carotenoids, flavonoids, and polyphenols, alpha-lipoic and glutathione, vitamin C, E. Everyone now talks about that take lemon and that amla, because it have vitamin C antioxidant. So it is rich in vitamin C and E also. The natural foods, spices and medicinal plants are rich source in antioxidants. Okay, coming to the conclusions. So Siddhas, I already told about Bogar, Sattamuni, Sage, Bogar, Sage, Sattamuni, Sage, Agathir. They all actually referred as a olden day scientist, because we see such phytos constitute and pharmacological activities. These are coming recent days only, but they are told about this few thousand years ago. How we have to take this medicine along with this adjuvant in this season. So it is a science. They are a super scientist actually, as per our aspect, because they had inner knowledge about the science of the medicine and each plant's medicinal activity in their inner knowledge view. And herbal drugs and the concept of Siddha medicine is lifestyle, effective and cheap products in development of medications. Also, finally, I'm told it's a single herb we can use as easy method. So that's why it is called a superior to nourishing mother. So it's a simple herb, but it have more effect in our body. It balances the trio, it balances the Vadam, Pittam, Kavam, three humors. So the consumption of the KADUKKAI in a certain way, various adjuvant in respective season will boost our immunity and helps to prevent a disease-free life. And it also a possibility of COVID-19 infection in future also. Thank you.
Thank you. That was great. So just as a very short recap for myself and maybe a few others who are not in the SIDDHA field. So you told us about the three humors
Yes.
and the seasonal variations of the body and of the humors, and that using just KADUKKAI, a single herb, according to the seasons. So together with whatever you told us, ginger or honey or sugar. So that will give the body the balance of the three humors, and by that will bring up the immune system to a level to keep us healthy. So basically, I mean, that's easy, right? It's
Yes, yeah, everyone is easy to follow this.
So all you have to do, you need the calendar, and you need the ingredients and one single herb. So
Yes.
I mean, I'm sure many of the viewers, once you start talking about that, will go online and look for KADUKKAI and probably not find it in their region. But
And one more thing, sir, every
yeah.
herb is a positive thing and negative, which means we have to purify that kadukkai also. The seed of the kadukkai is not good for health, so we have to remove that. And there is a procedure how to make it churn, after how to take along with this adjuvant. So it's a proper thing. So what anybody wants to take this, the proper prescription of any doctor advice, have to.
So basically, you should maybe have this prepared by someone who knows how to do it, than just go about it yourself. All right, I will just yeah. Thank you for this great one. It's really beautiful to see what comes up here. You know, the papers we see, and this was a very good one. This is very practical, very useful, and I am sure you know, people can work with it. And also Vinayak is telling us that yeah, I mean, KADUKKAI is one of the ingredients of Triphala,
Yes.
which is available in Europe and also in other Western countries. But yeah, thank you for your time. Also, because you are in your vacation time, so you took your time for us to present your paper. And I mean, be with us as long as you like. We would enjoy you being part of the discussion. But we will move on to the next paper and finish this one. So thank you, doctor, and we go to the next. So Vinayak,
Thank you so much of you all for giving this great opportunity to tell my experience.
No, you're absolutely welcome. Thank you for your knowledge. Thank you.
I'm putting Dr. Laza. I think if she's
all right. Yeah, she's here.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, beautiful. We can really hear that. Great.
Shall I start, sir?
Yes, just I give a short intro for people. We had planned this presentation for the first part by Dr. Laza, who has, as you can see, a literature review on components of human immune system, but due to some issues with the internet connection and stuff like that, it didn't happen. But now, luckily, she seems to have a good connection. So please, doctor, go on.
You can start, doctor.
Today, my topic is a literature view on component of human immune system. Next slide. Introduction. Our immune system is essential for our survival. Without an immune system, our bodies would be open to attack from bacteria, viruses, and parasites, and more. It is our immune system that keeps us healthy. We float through a sea of pathogens. This vast network of cells and tissues is constantly on the lookout for invaders, and once an enemy is spotted, a complex attack is mounted. The immune system is spread throughout the body and involves many types of cells, organs, proteins, and tissues. Crucially, it can distinguish our tissues from foreign tissue, that is, self from non-self. Dead and faulty cells are also recognized and cleared away by the immune system. Next. Immunity. What is immunity? The ability of body to fight or resist the entry of disease-causing pathogens such as bacteria, virus, etc. It is called immunity. The responses of immune system initiate the destruction and elimination of invading organism and any toxic molecules produced by them. Types of immunity. Immunity is first divided into innate immunity and acquired immunity. Then acquired immunity is divided into natural and artificial. Natural, acquired, then it is divided into active and passive immunity. First, natural acquired passive immunity and natural acquired passive immunity. Then artificial acquired active immunity. Then artificial acquired passive immunity. Next. Innate immunity. Innate immunity is the natural phenomenon of resistance to infection which an individual possesses right from the birth. The innate defenses means are non-specific in the sense that that they are effective against a wide range of potentially infectious agents. This innate immunity includes the external barriers of our body, the first line of defense against pathogens such as the skin and mucous membrane of the throat and gut. Structure of mediators. Example, gastrointestinal tract. There is a digestive enzyme, acid in stomach, lysosome in saliva. While entering the bacteria or other organisms, these enzymes, saliva destroy the organism. In respiratory system, defensins and cathecillidins in epithelial cells present in the airway passages that destroy the organisms. In urogenital system, acidity in urine and vaginal fluid destroy the entry of the organism. In skin, keratinized stratum corneum that kill the that protect the skin from the invaders. Then lysosome destroy the organisms. Phagocytic cells like neutrophils, monocytes, macrophages engulf the microorganism by phagocytes. Interference inhibit multiplication of viruses, parasites, and cancer cells. Complement proteins accelerates the destruction of microorganisms. In our body, there are some barriers in mucous and intact mucous membrane. Acid in sweat, the pH value in sweat, acid in HCl, mucus and intact mucous membrane, antibacterial proteins, zinc in semen, cilia in respiratory tract trap the foreign material, then coughing and sneezing, enzymes in mucus, tears and saliva. Next. Acquired immunity. Acquired immunity is the resistance developed in the body against any specific foreign body, against bacteria, viruses, toxins, vaccines, or transplanted tissues. So this type of immunity is also called specific immunity. Most powerful immune mechanism, lymphocytes are responsible for this immunity. Active immunity. What is active immunity? Produced actively by host immune system. It is produced due to contact with pathogen or by its antigen. Naturally acquired active immunity. It occurs when a person is exposed to a live pathogens and develops a primary immune response which leads to immunological memory. Many disorders of immune system can affect the formation of active immunity such as immunodeficiency and immunosuppression disease. Artificially acquired active immunity. Artificially acquired immunity can be a vaccine of substrate that contains an antigen. A vaccine stimulates a primary response against the antigen without causing symptoms of the disease. Next. Passive immunity. Passive immunity is received passively and there is no active host participation. It is produced due to antibodies obtained from outside. Naturally acquired passive immunity. Maternal passive immunity is a type of naturally acquired passive immunity and refers to antibody-mediated immunity conveyed to a fetus by its mother during pregnancy. IgG is the antibody can pass through the placenta and IgA antibody pass through the breast milk to infants, protecting from bacterial infections. Artificially acquired passive immunity. It is a short-term immunization induced by the transfer of antibodies, which can be administered in several forms as human or animal blood plasma, as pooled human immunoglobulin for intravenous or intramuscular use, and in the form of monoclonal antibodies. Components of acquired immunity. There are two components. First one, cellular immunity or cell-mediated immunity. Then humoral immunity or antibody-mediated immunity. In cellular immunity, pathogens are destroyed by cells without producing antibodies. In this cellular immunity, several cells are involved. So, this is called cellular immunity. Brought about by T cells, macrophages, and natural killer cells. In humoral immunity, pathogens are destroyed by the production of antibodies. It is brought about by the B cells. T lymphocytes. T lymphocytes are processed in thymus between the age before birth and few months after birth. Hormone thymosin secreted by thymus accelerates the proliferation and activation of lymphocytes in thymus and increase the activity of lymphocytes in lymphoid tissues. Storage of lymphocytes. After the transformation, all the type of T lymphocytes leave the thymus and are stored in lymphoid tissues of lymph nodes, spleen, bone marrow, and GI tract. Types of T lymphocytes. Helper. There are 4 types. Helper T cells or inducer T cells or CD4 cells. Cytotoxic T cells or killer cells or CD8 cells. Then suppressor T cells and memory T cells. Humoral immunity. B lymphocytes secrete the antibodies into the blood and lymph. The blood and lymph are the body fluids. In Latin, humus or humus in Latin. There is the sense of fluid. So the immunity is called humoral immunity. Since the B lymphocytes provide immunity through humus, this type of immunity is called humoral immunity or B cell immunity. Antibodies are the gamma globulins produced by B lymphocytes. These antibodies fight against the invading organism. The humoral immunity is the major defense mechanism against the bacterial infections. B lymphocytes. B lymphocytes were first discovered in the bursa of Fabriceus in bats, a lymphoid organ situated near the cloaca of bats. B lymphocytes are transformed into 2 types. First one, plasma cells, then memory cells. After transformation, the B lymphocytes are stored in the lymphoid tissue of lymph node, spleen, bone marrow, and GI tract. Role of helper T cells. Helper T cells, which enter the circulation, first activate all the other T cells and B cells. Normal CD4 count, that is otherwise called helper T cells. The CD4 count in healthy adults varies between 500 and 1500 per cubic millimeter of blood. Helper T cells are 2 types, helper 1 cells and helper 2 cells. Role of helper 1 cells. The helper 1 cells are concerned with cellular immunity and secrete two substances. First one is interleukin-2, which activates the other T cells, then gamma interferon, which stimulate the phagocytic activity of cytotoxic cells, macrophages, and natural killer cells. Role of helper cells too. These cells are concerned with the humoral immunity and secrete interleukin-4 and interleukin-5, which are concerned with activation of B cells, proliferation of plasma cells, and production of antibodies by plasma cells. Role of cytotoxic T cells. Cytotoxic T cells that are activated by helper T cells circulate through the blood, lymph, and lymphatic tissues and destroy the invading organism by attacking them directly. Mechanism of action of cytotoxic T cells. Receptors situated on the outer membrane of cytotoxic T cells bind the antigens or organism tightly with the cells. Cytotoxic T cells enlarge and release cytotoxic substances like the lysosomal enzymes, which destroy the invading organisms. Each cytotoxic T cells can destroy a large number of microorganisms, one after another. Destroy cancer cells, transplanted cells, such as those of transplanted heart or kidney or any other cells which are foreign bodies. Destroy the body's own tissues along with invaded organisms. Role of suppressor T cells. Suppressor T cells are, it is called regulatory T cells. This suppressor T cell suppresses the activities of the killer cells and helper T cells. Role of memory cells. Some of the T cells activated by an antigen do not enter the circulation but remain in lymphoid tissues. The T cells are called memory T cells. In later periods, the memory cells migrate to various lymphoid tissue throughout the body. When the body is exposed to the same organism for the second time, the memory cells identify the organism and immediately activate the other T cells. So, the invading organism destroyed very quickly. Role of plasma cells. Plasma cells destroy the foreign organism by producing the antibodies. The antibodies are globulin in nature. The rate of the antibody produced is very high. That is, each plasma cell produces about 2000 molecules of antibodies per second. The antibodies are also called immunoglobulins. Antibodies are released into lymph and then transported into the circulation. The antibodies produced until the end of lifespan of each plasma cell, which may vary from several days to several weeks. Role of helper T cells. Helper T cells are simultaneously activated by antigen. Activated helper T cells secrete two substances called interleukin-2 and B cell growth factor. Activation of more number of beta lymphocytes and proliferation of plasma cells, then production of antibodies. Role of memory B cells. Memory B cells occupy the lymphoid tissue throughout the body. The memory cells are in inactive condition until the body is exposed to the same organism for the second time. During the second exposure, the memory cells are stimulated by the antigen and produce more quantity of antibodies at a faster rate than in the first exposure. The antibodies produced during the second exposure to the foreign antigen are also more potent than those produced during first exposure. This phenomenon forms the basic principle of vaccination against the infection. Antigen. What is antigen? Antigens are the substances which induce specific immune reactions in the body. Antigens are two types, auto-antigens and foreign antigens. Auto-antigens are self-antigens present on the body's own cells such as A antigen and B antigen in RBCs. Foreign antigens are non-self antigens that enter the body from outside. Antigen presenting cells. Antigen presenting cells are the special type of cells in the body which induce the release of antigenic materials from invading organism and later present these materials to the helper T cells. Antigen presenting cells are of three types: macrophages, dendritic cells, and B-lymphocytes. Among these cells, macrophages are the major antigen presenting cells. Antibodies are immunoglobulins. An antibody is defined as a protein that is produced by lymphocytes in response to the presence of an antigen. Antibody is gamma globulin in nature and is also called immunoglobulins. Immunoglobulins form 20% of the total plasma protein. It enters almost all the tissues of the body. 5 types of antibodies are identified. IgG forms 75% of the antibodies in the body. IgA, IgD, IgE, IgG, and IgM. Next. IgG first marks microbes so other cells can recognize and deal with them. IgM is expert at killing bacteria. IgA congregates in fluids such as tears and saliva where it protects gateways into the body. IgE protects against parasites and is also to blame for allergies. IgD stays bound to B lymphocytes, helping them to start the immune responses. Antibodies lock on the antigen, but they do not kill it, only mark it for death. The killing is the job of other cells, such as phagocytes. Next.
कौन सा प्रेजेंटेशन पता चल जाएगा तो फिर हम नमाज का सीन देख लेंगे.
Macrophages are the large phagocytic cells which digest the invading organism to release the antigen. The macrophages are present along the lymphocytes in almost all the lymphoid tissues. Dendritic cells are monophagocytic in nature based on the location. Dendritic cells are classified into 3 categories. Dendritic cells of spleen which trap the antigen in blood. Follicular dendritic cells in lymph nodes, the antigen in the lymph. Langerhans dendritic cells in skin which trap the organism coming in contact with body surface. B lymphocytes. Recently, it is found that B lymphocytes also act as antigen presenting cells. Thus, the B cells functions as both antigen presenting cells and antigen receiving cells. However, the B cells are least efficient antigen presenting cells and need to be activated by helper T cells. Cytokines. What is cytokines? Cytokines are the hormone-like small proteins acting as intercellular messengers, that is cell signaling molecules, by binding to specific receptors of target cells. These non-antibody proteins are secreted by WBC and some other type of cells. Their major function is the activation and regulation of general immune system of the body. Cytokines are distinct from the other cell signaling molecules such as growth factor and hormones. Next. Types of cytokines. Interleukins. Interleukins are the polypeptide cytokines which are produced mainly by the leukocytes and act on other leukocytes. About 16 types. Now there is 21 types of interleukins are identified. First to 8 play important role in the process of immunity. Interferons. Interferons are the glycoprotein molecules. These cytokines are considered as antiviral agents. These types of interferons are the 3 types of, namely interferon alpha, interferon beta, and interferon gamma. Tumor necrosis factor. TNF are 3 types: TNF alpha, TNF beta, and TNF gamma. Next. Chemokines. Cytokines having chemoattractant action are called chemokines. It attracts the cells. Defensins. Defensins are the antimicrobial peptides. 2 types of defensins: alpha defensins and beta defensins. Alpha defensins secreted by neutrophils, macrophages, and panel cells in small intestine. Beta defense secreted by epithelial cells lined in respiratory tract, salivary glands, and cutaneous cells. Cathepsilidins are also the antimicrobial peptides which play an important role in a wide range of antimicrobial activity in air passage and lungs. Platelet activating factor accelerates the agglutination aggregation of the platelets. That is the picture. Antigen presenting cells. Antigen enter into the like macrophages or natural killer cells that form the receptors and T cell receptors and T cells. Next. Innate immunity, that these cells are involved, neutrophils, macrophages, dendritic cells, NK cells. Adaptive immunity, T cells and B cells are involved. Thank you. Immunization. What is immunization? Immunization introduces antigens or weakened pathogens to a person in such a way that the individual does not become sick but still produces antibodies. Because the body saves copies of the antibodies, it is protected if the threat should repair later in life. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thanks by management and the organizing team of Knowledge Festival for giving this opportunity.
No, thank you. It was so great to still have you back at the second part, so you could, because you left no questions open. We do not have to ask anything. All we have to do really, and this is really important for the Knowledge Festival channel, to have a single clip where everybody can go through the whole process of the immune system inside the body, all components of the immune system, and in a very short way. And no, that was just great. I'm very happy we had you on, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So
thank you.
We will put that clip.
Thank you.
No, definitely. You took your time. You did a great job. This was so detailed and in depth, and really we will cut it out as a clip, and then whoever wants to know how does the immune system work, they can just click on that. That was great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So Vinayak, which?
I think we are done today for the papers. I think we can take a short break and we come back for the discussion.
Okay, everybody, we're back for the final part of the second day. So we had two papers, two presentations, very nicely explaining the whole immune response from a point of view of the body, without any extras, without any fat. It was pure information, and for that we do not need any more explanation, so to say. So now we will be going into the discussion with Dr. Riyazuddin and Dr. Mukesh, who will give us the point of view of Unani medicine and Ayurveda, and later on, hopefully, we'll have Dr. Senthil Kumar also joining us. But for now, maybe for a start, you can give us the basic understanding of the immune response of the body according to Unani to any attack.
It's just network trouble. Firstly, I would like to thank all organizers for having me here. Now, I will start to share what Unani says about the immune response. In Unani system of medicine, basically is based on humor principles. Humor's principles. That is called in Unani system of medicine is akhlat. These akhlat are 4 in numbers, which called balgam. It means plague, blood, bile, and black bile. All immune system of the body is based on akhlat and temperament of the body. So in Unani system of medicine, more emphasis is given to the strengthen the immune status of the patient's resistance more strong. Survey of classical Unani literature, drugs were include Hippocrates, Galen, Razi, Avicenna, and Ibn Betar, etc. to enhance the body immune system. The stimulation of immune response to alleviate the disease has been of prime interest over many years in Unani system of medicine, and to explain this concept of helping the Quwwat Mudabbara Badan. There is one power in body that is natural power. It calls medicatrix naturae. That is called in Unani system of medicine Quwwate Mudabbara Badan. This helping the explain of this concept of helping the Quwwat Mudabbara Badan. It means physician only helping the Quwwate Mudabbara Badan. So we are using the Unani medicine, Unani drugs to help the Quwwat Mudabbara Badan. And this Quwwat, it means Quwwat Mudabbara Badan overcome the disease. The Quwwat Mudabbara Badan, what is Quwwat Mudabbara Badan? It is the power of self-preservation or self-adjustment according to environment or according to body nature, which strive to restore normal physiological function within the individual, within the state of individual. This correspondent to defense mechanism in conventional medicine, which is called to action in case any injury to the body or it alter the state of the body. In Unani treatment, great reliance is placed on this power, means Quwwat Mudabbara Badan. The aim of physician is to help and develop rather than the supersede or impede the action of this power. The consequences of this philosophy is that by the use of Unani drugs, not only is the system enabled to overcome the present disturbance by using its intrinsic power, but also it emerges after recovery of that abnormal disturbance with great power of resistance against the future disturbance. One of therapeutic strategies in Unani medicine is thus to increase body natural resistance and helping the Quwwat Mudabbara Badan to restore the normal health rather than directly neutralizing the agent itself. This is achieved by using various drugs mentioned in Unani system of medicine is called Mukavviyat tonics. The most common problem of all sort of infection is tackled by very successfully by Unani system of medicine approach to strengthen the immune system of body, which in turn eliminates infectious agents and exert least side effect. Certain drugs or agents have been shown to possess activity to normalize or modulate physiological process and hence called immunomodulator agents in Unani system of medicine. In Unani system of medicine, drugs are used in two forms, in single form and compound form. We can use in single form only, and there are which we can make a compound to from the different single drugs. So some single drugs we can use to stimulate this quwwat mudabbira badan and to enhance the immune system against the any abnormal condition of the body. Like this Amblycca officinalis is regularly we are using in Unani system of medicine. Amblycca officinalis, aloe vera, and Punica granatum, Vitis vinifera, Carica papaya, or Ocimum sanctum, Ziziphus, Rubia cordifolia, Crocus sativus, and Ocimum sanctum, Withenia somnifera, and Glycerasia glabra. These single medicine, we can, other than these medicine, we have lot of medicine in Unani system of medicine to enhance the immune system and to overcome the abnormal condition of the body. Like Kalonji in Unani, we called Kalonji in Unani system of medicine very beneficial drug in to enhance the immune system. It called Nigella sativa, Kalonji. It is known as in Unani Kalonji, Nigella sativa, Zufa, Hisopas officinalis, or lots of the drugs are present in Unani system of medicine. Some are murakkab compounds drug, which is called in Unani system of medicine murakkab medicine. These called a compound medicine, which are made by different single medicine, like Khamira abresham, Khamira jat, Khamira abresham, Khamira gauzava, Khamira marwarid, Habbe jadwar, Jawari shahi, or Lubube kabir, Majun mukhavvi. These are compound medicine we can use to enhance the immune system in our body, and we can overcome by using these medicine in abnormal condition of the body. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you. So
over to the host.
Yes, thank you very much. It's just so with let's say the modern medicine, when there is some sort of attack, then you have some drugs against that attack. But in Unani, you say some part of the body itself has to work better to defend against an attack. So you will go and kind of support that function of the body, that immune system of the body. So now my question is, then probably you have to support different energies or different parts of body when different ailments, different attacks come in. So there must be a difference between, let's say, when you have COVID, or when you have the measles, or when you just have a cold. So what is there a whole system? Is there a system about which herbs, which drugs you use for which ailments, or is it always supporting the whole body and the body will do the rest?
Firstly, I want to share some basics principle of the Unani system of medicine. According to Unani system of medicine, every part or every organ of the body has a different quwwat mutabbira badan or different power.
Right.
So in Unani system of medicine, the main aim to enhance that particular quwwat mudabbira badan, not overall quwwat mudabbira badan. This is not only the single quwwat. This is every organ or every single part of the body has a different quwwat mudabbira badan. So we have we prescribe or we are giving to enhance that drug for that particular organ or that particular system.
Okay. So
And
yeah, that makes sense. So then you have to know where the immunity for a certain ailment is in the body, so you can support that part to
yes,
work with that. All right. So thank you very much. I understand it, and that's what we are here for. I hope everybody can take this in, because the Unani system is a vast system in itself, and it's not very well known in Europe or in the West.
yes.
So thank you very much for that. We will go with the same question to Dr. Senthil Kumar, who luckily just joined us. So, Doctor, we were talking about now the immune response, and we want to know from your point of view, from your system, how does the immune response work? So what happens, where does an attack go to? How does the body build up some kind of defense and response to it? You're still muted, sir.
Namaste, Vanakkam to all of you. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfect.
Yes, okay. I just joined. I may not be able to talk about the previous speaker's context. In SIDDHA system of medicine, generally, the immune system, it is like prevention. That is the aspect they more think about it. Okay. There is a stanza in SIDDHA, Udambal Aril Uirar Arivar. That is, you have to maintain the body's homeostasis. The equilibrium has to be constantly maintained. So that's where they try to say that. So if you do that, so the immune system, that is, will be maintained. Certainly when the person, it's affected with any kind of toxins or microbes, certainly it will be, you can able to work, the system is ready to work against that. That is where their concept. So in general, according to me, the holistic, the traditional system of Indian medicine all works towards this. They don't this way, cause and effect. That is it is a more allopathic, I say it is. Here we try to make it, your body as a immortal. That's a very big goal actually. So immortal in the sense you want to you have ability to resist whatever that comes from the environment. That is the whole thing. I'll say that. So that is in SIDDHA we say the Kaya Kalpa. That's they have the Kaya Kalpa. If you look into that, we have different types of Kaya Kalpa. They are saying that it is like the Kaya Kalpa preparations from the herb, or Kaya Kalpa preparations from the minerals, and as well as the yogic methods. So all this are considered as a kind of yogic method, which includes also that breathing exercise. All this included in that part actually. So if you look into the modern scientific community's validation toward that are very interesting. If I look into that, like a tripala, okay, if a tripala, there's so many papers how people have worked throughout the world about its role in the as an antioxidant, as well as it is effect on the each immune components, their response, continuous response to taking this tripala, how it alters your response to a pathogen that enters into how immediate it responds. It is well explained. For example, the innate immunity components like a neutrophils, which is the first line of defense mechanism in your body. That's what I say. The response is very faster person who are treated with the tripala. So that's the one component I'm talking about. Similarly, if you look into the other, actually in the immunity, all of you know that innate immunity is acquired immunity. That is what you say that actually. Acquired means something you entered that you gain a response or immunity or resistance against the particular pathogen. That response too is enhanced by this Kayakalpa medicine. There are several papers as we published. Recently, the ashwagandha, which was tried for all this, its response against the pathogens, the COVID-19, all that they worked out, they found it is ability to enhance the innate as well as the acquired immune response in the body. So now they're planning for the clinical trials with the phase 1 trials with the ashwagandha. Already that our Ayush Ministry has with a signed are about to take some projects on this actually soon. The abroad actually the concern of all the scientists and the ethical issues all taken care. Everything they're planning it. That is happening there. That's the one thing. Again, in the pranayama, it is well another kayakalpa which is known to enhance your immune function as well documented. The recent publication, they have mentioned how it is. Similarly, if you take the yoga, the Tirumular Yogam, in the cancer patients, they have tried. Okay, in that, if you the pathogenesis toward the cancer, one is the down regulation or put down, a decrease in the immune response for the whatever it is one of the cause. Because there are, if you look into this body, there are mutations happening every day in your body, but it is not well taken care by the gene repairing mechanism, the system that it is existing within you. When that is failure or that is coming down, so it goes to the abnormal growth of the cell, which we end up in the cancer. But this is, they showed that in the yoga practice, continuous yoga practice, there are different randomized clinical trial has been done. Even MD Anderson Cancer Center in Florida, the University of Texas, they have clearly showed that how this immune components are well enhanced, and how it protects the person is going further down in the cancer condition. They are documented very well actually. So in overall, what I try to say is this SIDDHA system of medicine, or where the kayakalpas are, it may be a herbal or maybe a dhatu or from the mineral part or from the other yogic practices like a pranayama, as a overall it tried to enhance the antioxidant. Apart from that, it also revitalize or it enhance the whole body function and try to bring back some kind of homeostasis. All this try to achieve and give a resistance against the whatever the pathogens or toxins enter into the body. That's how we are exactly achieved.
Very good, thank you. So basically, what I understand is that a lot of emphasis is put on the staying healthy and also on keeping the balance, which we had with all the systems almost, which I would think that modern medicine also thinks is advisable, but which is not that important maybe or applicable in this kind of society that we have. But what would be interesting to me also is in which way is this attack defined in the Siddha medicine form? So because we have in certain other medical systems, you have maybe just an attacker coming in and you have to remove them. Others see certain energy levels going up and down. Others see some body parts. So what is it in Siddha? What is your understanding of what happens when something from outside comes in maybe, or something inside develops, and what is happening in the body when it's successfully opposed or not? I mean, whichever way it goes.
Okay. Okay. Very good question. How it is, that is Siddha system.
I know it's a lot, but it's just really that would be the gist of everything, so that we know, and then we make it a clip and everybody can watch it and know when you tell us.
In Siddha system of medicine, there we were coming, we just changes in the body homeostasis is measured in the terms of three doshas. There's a Mukutra, Vata, Pitta, Kapha. Okay, so it goes up and down. So something enters in it, actually, some pathogen that is inside in it. This also get altered actually. So this Vata, Pitta, Kapha, three dosha, there's a Mukutrangal. So they get altered. So change in that is first initiate the what kind of foods can be administered to bring back normal. So they try to put it all in this three dosha theory actually. So whatever the pathogens or anything that grows within your body, that is the thing, or makes a changes in the all the vital factors called Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. So based on the change in that, they start with they advise for the type of lifestyle, then the diet regimen for the particular change in the particular three vital factors. Then again the medicine part comes here. Okay. Again, another thing is still they do have a system to evaluate this, how this changes, or what kind of symptoms can arise. All this, and they have a N-Vahite, there is a 8 scales they have mentioned, eight types of methods they insist to to understand the complete pathology of that particular person. Okay, then based on that they also think about the medication. So the response is analyzed and measured in the means of the N/8 types of measurement and change in the three vital factors. So based on that, they go for the medication actually. So the change in the whatever pathogen enters in, or there is a growth, so that is reflected all these three doshas. There is a Vata, Pitta, Kapha changes the ratio 1/2 quarter. Any change will be reflected in that based on this one. Next things, there is a change in this 8 types of the way of analyzing the body. So this gives a lead to medication, how it has to go. So that's
very good. Thank you very much. Now we go over to Dr. Mahesh for this round for the same question, to see what the point of view of Ayurveda is on the immune response. Thank you, Dr. Senthil, for now. Dr. Mahesh, what is your definition of the immune response? What happens when the body is under attack, according to Ayurveda?
See, basically, we need to understand what is immune response in Ayurveda. So it is like you have three sets actually. First set is Vyadhi Bala Virodhitvam and Vyadhi Utpataka Hetu Pratibandhakatvam. Vyadhi Bala Virodhitvam is there is something that is causing the disease and the strength of the disease, and which needs to be mitigated, which has to be controlled. This is first thing. Vyadhi Utpataka Hetu Pratibandhakatvam. So there is something that is causing this particular disease. First is you attack the disease. Second, you again see that this basic cause of the disease is also attacked. And then the third part that comes is to maintain the healthy status, because we in Ayurveda it's not just like how Dr. Senthil has just now told. The basic condition is to maintain the healthy status, basic necessity in the idea of Ayurveda, why Ayurveda has come into existence. So to maintain his hemostasis, these three aspects of immunity or Vyadhi Kshamatva, what we tell, is being highlighted. So Vyadhi Bala is one thing we need to consider, or the immune system has to consider. Then Vyadhi Utpadaka Hetu or Nidana, what we causative factors, what we consider, that is also has to be taken care of. And ultimately protect the body from these two aspects, which will be the final hemostasis of the body components. So now how does our disease come? Because again, basically it is from food only. Ahara, vihara, the lifestyle, whatever. This is the causative factor when the abuse of the food takes place. Abuse of the activities take place. So I like something and I take it more than what is required to the body. And what it causes is the changes in the hemostasis of the body. Hemostasis is the equilibrium status of the body components. That is what we consider as Jaya. In the pathogenesis development of pathogenesis or the pathogenesis as per Ayurveda is in 6 steps. First is Jaya. Jayo vruddhi swadbhavameva pradvesho vruddhi hetushu. So the basic cause of the disease is being hated by the individual, and of course that is the basic sign that it is telling, the body is telling that this is more than what is required to me. So every stage the body tries to give us a message which we need to understand, and instead of reading the message we ignore it and we continue, then the disease goes down step by step to the higher status. So what is immune system, if we need to understand, is Vyadhi Utpadaka Hetu Pratibandhakatvam. Even changing the lifestyle will increase immunity. We need not have medicines for that. Change your food style, change your food that is necessary for the body also increases immune system. It fortifies the immune system. Just change the methodology of thinking, even that changes your immune system, because everything is contributing to the cause of the disease. It's not that only food is going to contribute. It is not that only thinking, stress is contributing. Both stress and food is contributory to the disease. Any disease for that matter. It has its own applications on the body. And it also derives the different effects on the different components of the body. May it be the 7 dhatus, made by the Tridosha, and made by the Trimala, even Manasika doshas. So these are different components of the body. There are different components. So all gets affected by basically by our food and our lifestyle. So that is why Ayurveda not only emphasizes the medications, it also emphasizes Achara Rasayana. Achara Rasayana is nothing, just have a good lifestyle, or a good, virtuous lifestyle. That's more important there. We respect others and get respected. First is try to respect others. So what happens with that is it reduces the stress on mental aspects, and because of that you will have good food. You will have the food also helps you to develop that immune system. When there is less of stress, again there are many researchers which tell what is the effect of stress on immune system. Even the stress will break down the immune system. So when you reduce stress, automatically the immune system is highlighted. And if you have a very good food which is helping to give adequate nourishment to the body, when we understand what is happening with the body, then the vyadhi utpadaka hetu itself is removed. And vyadhi bala virodhatvam, this is the other aspect. So there is already a disease. So because we cannot be 100% perfect in everything. So by chance, one may come into disease because of our habits, or there is another thing, that is kalaja. Diseases which is not happening, or the causes which are not under our control, time factors. Maybe the seasonal time, or just like how we have this present pandemic situations where we don't have any control over these situations. In such cases, then vyadhi bala virodhitvam, the strength of the disease is taken into consideration. Now we need medicines because our food cannot counter the activity of this strength of the disease. It cannot counter the disease. And it may, from chaya, it may enter into prasaravastha, and prakopavastha, prasaravastha, and etc. etc. So the development, if we ignore the strength of the disease here. Now with food, a medicine is required. So these medicines are what we call as rasayana drugs. Because what are the different types of immunity in Ayurveda also? Sahaja, Kalaja, and Yuktikrita. Sahaja is the innate immunity, the natural immunity that we get from our ancestors, genetic factors, etc. Kalaja is something that is dependent on time. Time in the sense maybe seasonal, because in winter we have the highest bala, and Grishma Ritu, it is supposed to be the lowest bala. So secondly, Kalaja. Along with that, even time, age factor. Age factor is another aspect. In young ages, or especially the youth and middle ages, we have the highest amount of strength, and in fact highest amount of abuse also we do at that time. Still nothing happens to us because we have highest amount of immune system. We have well developed, strong immune system. And Yuktikrita, the third important factor, is how we develop. Yukti is something planned, developed. So we develop it in such a manner that we can mitigate the disease. We can counter the strength of the disease. That is why vyadhi bala virodhitva. Vyadhi, disease, its strength, virodhitva. We are going to counter its strength. And that strength is only possible with certain diseases. Of course, the causative factors, if it is a food and other lifestyle, then simple change of lifestyle is more than enough. It will increase your immunity. It can go ahead with the disease. It can mitigate the disease to a certain extent, and of course we need some medicines. But something like Kalaja, where we don't have control over the factors, in such case we need strong medicines. We need medicines that can really counter it and counter the effect of the disease, such that it can elevate immune system can be elevated to the level to counter that disease. So this is where the different applications of medicines, food, and everything that comes into play. Accordingly, we have to, as per the disease that an individual is affected, so will be our approach. So will be the approach of the immune system also. And where the disease oriented and individual oriented, which is again customized, because as we have already told, as I have already told, you have Sahaja Bala, which is different to different individuals. And so will be his ability to counter the attack of the disease. And so will be the necessity of medicine also. So that is how we believe in this part.
Very good. So now we know that was very structured and all around. Well, a final round where I would like to be very hands-on. I would like to ask both of you, maybe first again, Dr. Senthil Kumar, can you give us just 3 things that people can do to optimize their immune system according to SIDDHA? We had a KADUKKAI before as a whole paper, which was a nice paper presentation. So maybe you give us just 3 things that people practically can do according to your knowledge.
Okay. Yes. In this case, immunity as overall is achieved. It is not a single component. So basically, a person, how he lived his life, so that counts how his immunity will be. That's how it is actually. The good food habits and the sleep pattern and the work ethics, work balance, emotional factors, all these are collectively comes into picture. Okay. Now, first, the SIDDHA system, they talk about the lifestyle. So first, that is when to get up, you have to, then what are the things to be done the day-to-day life. That's what they're mentioning that. That is, when you're approaching something, you should be balanced in that. You should not be very happy, you should not be very angry, all this. They're talking that you approach the issues or whatever the day-to-day that you have to balance, we see things and see through that. So that's one way of doing things, one thing. Then they also insisting that from the day one, so like from the brushing, so what need to be done, what should not be. Similarly, when you are going for toilet, so how you have to sit and everything is prescribed. So how you have to do that. We call it the daily ethics. That is Nal Urukam. That's what they are saying that. Then next it comes seasonally, how it varies in each season, what kind of food can be added, what kind of food should be avoided, all they are telling that. So that's the one thing. For example, if it is like a summer seasons, so like you can add more buttermilk in your diet. That's one thing. So you can add something which comes down. You can have tender coconuts you can add. Again, like a watery vegetable, they suggest that. So that can be added in that, which will brings down your pitta and vata. And the kaba, that is, will be all they are trying to say that all kind of food can be taken on that. Apart from that, they also the overall to enhance the immunity. They insist the Tinospora cardifolia, the Senthil Churanam. So 1 gram at least once a day you can take every day. With the diabetic, you can go for a little bit more. So morning 1 gram and night 1 gram. 1 gram twice a day, like that they are suggesting that one thing. Then you can go for another concept of golden milk. That is the milk which is added with a pinch of turmeric powders and the pepper. So you can add in your diet, the day-to-day life you can have it. So that is also one thing to help you. Then they also suggest having a garlic in your diet. Okay, so you can boil the garlic in the milk and take it. So at least 2 or 3 cloves a day that you can add to improve your immune functions. That is the one thing they are saying. Again, another thing. It is in the Tamil literature. They say that you may know that Indian gooseberry, that is the one. So there was a story. There is a story in the olden days. A king used to give the Indian gooseberry to one of the poem called Avaya for to live long. Actually, you will get, if you take every day one gooseberry a day, you will be immortal. So that is the one thing they are saying that. So it can be dipped in the honey or you can take. So that's the suggesting. Again, that ginger officinalis. So according to Siddha, Kadukkaikku Aharanju, Injikku Purananju. That is, for Kadukkai, the inner seed is a toxic, so that has to be removed. In case of ginger, the external skin, that is a toxic. So remove that, then the ginger, that is external part, remove and cut it in a piece. You can soak it in a honey. Okay, it is called Inji Tenural. That's what they are calling in Siddha actually. So you can have 1-2 pieces of ginger with honey. So you allow it, you soak it in the ginger pieces. Okay, you have to dry it for a while, then put it in the honey, and you can take 2 or 3 pieces of this one every day. So that also helps you to improve your this one. Then they also suggest all these things like that is Vandiki Virachan, that is again Vedic Tarada. Then they call it as emic to we call it Vandi. Vandi means to remove the unwanted toxins in the upper content of the stomach. So this need to be practiced once in 6 months, once in 3 months, like that they have given that. So that also helps you to detoxify yourself and enhance your immunity against your immune functions against you entering pathogens. So that's one way of enhancing the immune system, removing the toxins from the body periodically, but using this kind of methods. So that's the one thing they are advising. Again, sleep also plays a major role in the revitalizing the immune system. Okay, you should not resist to go sleep. Actually, people nowadays they keep on watching mobiles, all this. They skipping the sleeping time. Actually, the duration. Again, the workload. Again, it adds up. Actually, all this has to be avoided. You should maintain a good sleep time. So it also important role. So the modern data also there, that is the melatonin secretion. All this will be get maintained. That is important to achieve a good immune functions of your body or existing things. They are also suggesting that. Apart from that, they suggest Yezhu Vehangal. That is Yezhu Vehangal. That means there are something you should not resist in your thing, like a sleep, then defecation, urination, then like cough, sneezing, 7 type of urges that you should not be stopped. Just allow it as it is spontaneous. That is important. Holding them also will lead to disease, as well as it has a effect over your balance, the homeostasis. Let it allow. That is, they say that. So all these 7 urges has to be taken care. So that is the thing they are saying that. So these are some of the things in the Siddha system. They try to say that again, like a head bath. That is one of the components that. So that also help to normalize the altered these 3 vital factors: Vada, Pitta, Kapam. That's another thing is important. They insist that Sunny Neeradal, every Saturday you should have a head bath. They're insisting that actually. So it balances your body. So bring back to, so what are the altered three factors, three doshas, and bring back the homeostasis, which helps to maintain your immune functions. So these are all the some of the diet, as well as some of the things can be added in your diet to promote the immune components.
That's great. Thank you. We have a few things now to go for. Just a final question, because that's been mentioned a few times. You know, the garlic is being mentioned also in SIDDHA as very helpful and healthy for everyday use. In yoga, it's seen as maybe a much too too powerful of a plant, and should only be used in certain cases. So what's your idea on that, or is there any kind of final result on that? Is the SIDDHA way with daily garlic okay, or is it more the yogic way without daily garlic? So how do we do that?
Okay, that's a good question. Actually, you think that we need to all do all these things, or we can just go with the garlic, or just go with the yoga? Right?
I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah. No. Yes. I can tell this actually. So we cannot go with only one thing. The person, if he is taking the garlic every day, that doesn't mean he achieve the complete set of immune components in the right place. It doesn't mean that. So as I said, that the immune system is a very complicated, or again it's an innovative system, which needs input from all the sides. So bodily and mentally, how sound you are, it reflects there in your immune system. Again, aging, all this comes in here. So if that is the case, so I cannot say that just take a garlic, you'll be okay. I cannot say like that. So there are set of rules that you should have a healthy diet, and you should have some kind of workout. So it may be a breathing, or it may be a breathing exercises, or yogic practices. So all this are together. So it should be in the balanced way. We should have some kind of the physical activity. That is essential. You have to spend some time for that. That adds up further. Again, if you're taking garlic, that is enough. But one thing I can say, like you take a gooseberry one day and you can take a garlic one day, that is not advisable. That is not the way that, okay. So you can stick to one. So have something that is, again, it is a mixed actually. So it is not just one component which can have it there. So I'll suggest some person want to follow, like you said, the KADUKKAI. Okay, KADUKKAI powder can be taken every day or so. That's enough. That part. It is taking of your diet part. It's a supplement. You can add it, but it doesn't mean that you don't need to do yoga. You don't need to sleep well. So you just enjoy what. It doesn't mean that.
No, I was just wondering, because
Yeah.
all the siddhas were yogis actually.
Yes.
So
Yes.
how come they, as yogis, are very cautious with garlic, and then as siddhis they become so so going out with the garlic? So, but no, I understand. Just we also have to take the individual organism into account, and then possibly the garlic might be the right thing, even if you're a yogi. I mean,
Yes.
that happens too, right? So thank you for that. We go over to Dr. Mahesh to see which few things he would recommend as an Ayurvedic doctor, which are maybe different from what we heard up to now from Dr. Senthil.
As I told, basically how a disease comes is important. So if it's something like a lifestyle or a food, which is a causative factor, so the which has caused the disease, So mere correction of lifestyle and food will help the person to come back to normalcy to a certain extent. But there are conditions, as I've told, where the Kalaja Vyadhi, what we are facing, or there are conditions where the person by some reasons he had to change his lifestyle or change his food style, because of which he may be or he comes into diseases. In such cases, when the disease is appearing, 6 stages of diseases. First thing is in our Ayurvedic system is Chaya, Prakopa, Prasara, Sthana Samshaya, Vyakta and Bheda. So what is Chaya is the first stage of disease. It is where there is this imbalance that is going to happen, and the imbalance is if it is well understood. Of course, every step, we come into we get signals from the body which tells that something is wrong. So it may be like aversion to a certain thing, it may be aversion to a certain style or something like that. So which makes the person feel that something is wrong. So that Chaya, if we can understand, it is nothing but aversion to the cause that is going to result in a disease. There is no disease in that particular condition. There is only the start of the pathophysiology. So at this point, the immune system is strong enough to heal itself from the situation. Innate, the system which is already present. You don't need a medicine there. You only have to correct your lifestyle. Next is Vriddhi, where the substance, the causative factor or the signs are ignored by the individual. He goes into the second step, Vriddhi, of the cause, the factors that result into disease. Mainly what we consider is the doshas, 3 doshas. So when it attains a Vriddhi, that is, that we consider as Prakopa, the technical word what we mentioned for that. So Prakopa is where the 3 doshas which have already been disturbed by our causes enters the stage where it will slowly start some symptomatic conditions, what we consider as prodromal symptoms of a disease. The disease is going to be manifested where only the certain signs of the small or mild symptoms of the disease will be seen. Now still, body has a mechanism to come out of it if we correct the causes. Still, if we are not able to correct the causes, still by ignorance or by situation, if we are not able to correct the causes, the immune system starts breaking down, because the innate immune system what we have, or through Yuktikrita what we have developed, or through Kalaja what is present, all this will continuously fight against these disease causing conditions. But when we don't cooperate, we still more infuse these causative factors into our body, the immune system starts to deteriorate. So because of which the next avastha, that is prasara or the movement of the doshas from each side to the other sides, or what we consider as infiltration of these doshas into different places. So again, you have these symptoms, prodromal symptoms, what we have, which is more intense, and it will be showing like fatigue or things like that. It is a very clear sign that slowly our system is unable to cope up or is unable to counter or neutralize the disease causing pathology or disease conditions. So wherein the in this point of time, we need to cut down the causative factors. And another thing is the immune system, what we slowly failing because of the ignorance of ours, has to be corrected or has to be fortified. And that fortification is only possible with certain drugs or certain substances. One is the most common one which we use is amlaki. The other one is haridra. The the other things like even we have like yashti madhu, ashwagandha is there. All these are there which help in restoring or aid this particular condition. We have different preparations also which can help in this. But what we need to understand is, even though we may give medications, it is the causes that lead to the disease. So we need to correct those causes. We need to see that these causes are well under the control. That not only weakens the disease, but also fortifies the immune system. So after this prodromal symptoms, what we have in the prasaravastha, it goes into the sthana samshaya avastha when it is ignored. Sthana samshaya avastha, where the exact disease gets manifested, where the complete manifestation, even though may not be severe, but there is manifestation. The person will exhibit the disease. So person is exhibiting the disease is nothing but the complete, or even there is a marked fall of immune system. So this marked fall of immune system will lead to the manifestation of disease or sthana samshaya. It affects a particular part, region, or something like that, and because of which we have the considerable disease. And still further, of course, it goes on vyakta and bheda, where vyakta is complete manifestation of the disease condition with highly exhibiting of all the signs and symptoms. Bheda is with the complications. So like that. So in all these cases, the first three stages, you have upper strength of immune system, and the second three stages, we have the complete deterioration of immune system. Three exact different opposite conditions we'll have. And ironically, we get people only in the fourth stage of this condition, because first three stages they just they completely ignore it. If it is a very first stage, people need not take any medicine. They can just go out and correct their food habits, which they don't do. So immunity is strength. And again, depending on the individual's immune strength, the delaying of this process will happen. The more the strength, it is like you have 10 members having COVID, positive cases, 10 positive cases. One person will not have any symptoms. He will just have an RT-PCR report telling that it is positive. He himself will not be knowing what is happening. The second person will be having like some mild symptoms of body ache or something like that, and he may just ignore it, and he may just go off, or it may just go off after 10 or 15 days, which he will not even know what is happening again. But certain set of people will have fever and all those symptoms. Again, that depends on how much immunity the individual has developed in the past, and how strong is this immunity, which has developed over the years. Now, if a person is we also can, the very good example why I'm using COVID here is because that is the most hot topic today in whole world. So if you can you can see all these different category of 6 stages in COVID, different members of the people. First stage is Chaya, what I've told. Person will not be knowing what is happening. his RT-PCR will be telling that it is positive. But he himself won't be knowing, he will be astonished to see the RT-PCR. Then Prasaravastha, again, if at all he may have one small symptom like loss of smell or something, but that will just pass off because he will be going on with his own activity. Third is Prasaravastha, where the condition would have been like his prodromal symptoms will be seen. Still, it may just go off if he can take the basic safety measures and take less medicines. Then fourth is Sthana Samshaya, where it really affects the individual. Really affects in the individual in the sense he will have fever, he will have body ache, he will have headache, he will have all those symptoms slowly in a mild condition. That will not be in a very virulent one, but it will be in a mild condition. So this individual needs some medicines which can support his immune system, which can enhance it, and so that he will be coming out of that. Still, if he ignores, so that is the next stage, Vyakta, the complete manifestation of the disease itself. So we can see there are such people also with breathlessness, loss of, drop of SpO2s, and headache and fever, which is not resolving itself. So all these, we need more medicines, more powerful medicines, such that it can counteract. Vyadhi bala virodhitva. Vyadhi bala is more, the strength of the disease is more, so will be the medicine. Like what we have, what you use, the rasaushadis. Then last is bheda, with comorbid, all other symptoms. So this will be where the total breakdown of the immune system, where you need not only, we cannot correct anything with the food and other substance. We need to give more powerful medicines, more in this powerful in the sense which can counter the disease and enhance the immune system. So that is where we need all these rasaushadis, what we use. So this is the different segregations. Now, how do you decide which medicine is or which thing is more important? That depends on the individual status. May it be Haridra, may it be Trifla, may it be Amlaki, may it be Ashwagandha, may it be Yashtimadu, anything, all have their own way of approach towards this immune system. They enhance. They cannot be a 1:1 ratio, 1:1 relationship for that. So wherein the medicine is customizable or should be customized and individualized depending on the necessity and manifestation of the disease. Yeah.
Very good. Thank you. So beautiful. We have a all-round understanding of the immune response. We unfortunately we lost our Unani expert, but so we have what we needed, and I want to thank our experts for their great explanations and the information they could give us. The good thing is this is a video clip, so you can always go back and listen again. So this is the good part, because a lot of the stuff here will be new to many people. So just in that case, go to our YouTube channel and watch the videos. And for now, for today, we're over with day number 2. Tomorrow, same time, we'll have the same structure, part 1, part 2, with a break in between. And you can always find the program and people, the participants on the website, knowledgefestival.org, or on our Facebook page and the other social media. So Thanks to our experts, Dr. Mahesh and Dr. Senthil Kumar, and hope to see you soon. Have a beautiful day. See you tomorrow, everybody.